Konnichiwa, everyone, to today's anniversary Q&A. Now, I haven't received as many questions as I'd hoped for. That could be because some of you guys didn't watch the last video, as shown by the low views. If you missed out on asking your question for this Q&A, you had your chance. Better luck next time. Anyway, let's get to the questions. Soraru-san asks, is this satire? Oh, what an interesting, unique, and insightful question that I've never heard before. Truly a great question to start with. I think I'll let my past self answer this one. And to stop people from asking it again, no, my videos are not satire. You guys have to understand that people have different tastes. Gomenasai, but I've heard this question so many times throughout the years. People even ask them during my live streams. So it's time I put my foot down for real. I am not answering this question anymore. From now on, if any of you ask this question, you will be ignored. Next question. Abe-san asks, Seth-sama, I can't believe we had the pleasure of viewing your content for 9 whole years. I have been watching since the first video. Wow, arigato for supporting this channel. My question for you is, what has been your most favorite video that you have created over your 9-year career? Now this is a good question. I have created so many great videos over the year. A few of them that comes to mind is the Sonic Adventure 2 review, the Bloodborne review, my hiking vlog with Joachim, and so many more. But for me personally, my favorite video of mine is the top 5 females in video games. A video where I list off the most objective, kawaii, and best females in gaming. And after so many years from its release, I wouldn't change a thing about it. Truly a video that stands the test of time. Emma-san asks, I miss you, Seth. How is Joachim? Miss me? What do you mean? I'm right here. And I need to make this clear right now. Please use honorifics when you say my name. This goes for you unaware swordlings watching as well. I appreciate the thought of you addressing me as if we were really close friends. But that way of approaching people is very Western and is considered rude to Japanese people. I would prefer if you call me by my full name, Sephiroth Sword 57, or if that is too long, Seth-sama, or Seth-sensei. Something like Seth-san and Seth-kun is fine, I guess. But I prefer Seth-sama the most, so please consider my feelings when you address me. And Joachim is doing Genki. Niemann-san asks, Omedetou! My question is, how much longer do you plan on doing this? I want my favorite YouTuber, an expert on Japanese culture, to stick around for a long time. How long, you ask? Well, I'm thinking of retiring after my stream later today. No, I'm just kidding you guys. I have no plans of retiring, and I plan on doing this for a very long time. Oh, and by the way, make sure you don't miss my 9th anniversary stream later today at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. It's going to be super sugoi. Deto-san, congrats on 9 years, Seth-sama. Arigato. I've recently been watching a lot of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure lately. So my question is, who is your favorite JoJo character and why? Oh, I hope you're enjoying it. My favorite character would be Kujo Jotaro from Part 3, Stardust Crusaders. I mean, come on, just look at him. Such an iconic character design. His cool blue school uniform and his hat that blends into his hair. I wish my hat did that. Not to mention all the cool accessories that Araki-sensei decided to add to this already great design. This is close to being a perfect character design. So yes, Yotaro-san is objectively my favorite JoJo character. Hati-san asks, you have given a magical wand that isekais the target to an anime, the world of your choice. What anime world do you pick? Oh, interesting concept. I would choose my favorite world in all of anime, the shinobi world of Naruto. I would not only be able to channel chakra properly, but I would be able to take advantage of knowledge from our world, all the mangas I've read, all the JRPGs I played, and all the anime I watched to my advantage. I could then use all the techniques from those worlds since I have the knowledge from them, making me a top shinobi of the shinobi world of Naruto and become Hokage. Dasan asks, I just wanted to say that unironically, irrespective of how much these videos are ironic or unironic, that your content is hilarious and harkens back to the good old days of YouTube before everything became about clickbait thumbnails with funny low-budget skits and rather off-the-cuff commentary. The fact that you kept your channel going for 9 years in spite of your little traction you've gained is a testament to your commitment, which I can only assume you've cultivated with your glorious Japanese spirit. But question to you, Seth-sama. How has your experience been making videos on YouTube? Has it been difficult doing YouTube alongside your actual real life, etc.? Well, I'm not quite sure what you said in the first part there. But what do you mean with little traction? After 9 years, I have gotten 9,000 subscribers, which means I've gotten 1,000 subscribers each year. That means I've gotten more than 2 subscribers a day. That is quite the accomplishment, wouldn't you say? But to answer your question, my experience has been great so far, and I have learned a lot about how it is to run a YouTube channel, even though YouTube can be quite baka at times, especially in the last couple of years. And when it comes to balancing YouTube with my job, it has been pretty hard. My full-time job as a forklift driver has left me very little time to do anything but videos on my channel, and it still isn't enough. I wish I could do YouTube full-time, but I'm sure that with your support, that time will come soon, and I will be able to work full-time on making sugoi YouTube content for you all. Kato-san asks, Seth-sama, I'm so glad that we had the privilege of your YouTube channel for 9 years now. I discovered you a few years ago and have been watching ever since. My question is, what is your opinion on the Dragon Quest series of games? And would you ever make a review on them? Oh, Dorakue is really sugoi. I don't have any plans to review any more Dorakue games right now or in the future. But there might be one day where I look at the series again. We will just have to wait and see. Dorakue 8 for the immersive PlayStation 2 is my favorite. Amon-san asks, Omedetou! My inquiry be, how dost thou enjoy the bountiful content of Japan in the modern day? I feel the modern atmosphere around Western-based consumption of Nippon content has become rather virulent and heated. Do you find yourself avoiding certain media for the sake of poor acting community around them? Yes, I have noticed this as well. If you follow me on X, or Twitter as it was known as, you will have seen me talk about it quite a bit. I never involve myself in barbaric Western discourse about Japanese media. The majority of Westerners can't handle having normal conversations about the media they like. They have to hate and insult manga and anime they don't even consume. It's so pathetic. And a while ago, I witnessed a filthy baka westerner threatening the life of a beloved and talented mangaka, just because that mangaka wrote a character differently than what they wanted it to be like. They are a bunch of selfish maniacs who thinks way too highly of themselves and what they post on the internet. They think that everything they say and do are facts and refuse to listen to reason, even when it's staring them in the face. They should be banned from Japan. Hiro-san asks, "Hey Seth-sama, August 29th is not only the day you uploaded your first video, but my birthday. Can you wish me a happy birthday? It would be super sugoi." That is amazing. Tanjobi omedetou, Hiro-san. And I hope that you have a super sugoi birthday. It is quite the privilege to share the same birthday as my objective content. You should feel proud. Johnson-san asks, "What are your opinion on Super Smash Bros. Ultimate?" You mean that fake fighting game that was meant for small children, that a lot of adult men still plays for some reason? Yeah, I already talked about that mess of a game. There should be a link on the screen somewhere here where you can go and watch the full review. Foxy-san asks, "Congrats Seth-sama on 9 years. Arigato." My question is, besides JRPGs, what other game genres do you like? Visual novels, platformers, etc.? Oh well, I like a little bit of everything. Visual novels are really sugoi, but action games like Devil May Cry are also incredible. Point is, if it's made by the Japanese, you know that I would be all over that. They have proven over and over that they can make amazing games. Whether they are action games, RPGs, puzzle games, fighting games, etc. They have always been at the top of their game and have been creating amazing experiences for all of us to enjoy throughout the years. Unless they are Nintendo or Modern From Software, of course. Johnny-san asks, "Omedetou Seth-sama, congratulations on giving us quality content and for many more great videos to come." Domo, well said. My question is, if you had to pick one Final Fantasy female character to be your waifu, who would it be and why? Oh, it's this question again. I'm a little bit frustrated with this question because I've gotten it so many times over the years and people ask me to only pick one female. I feel like it's very disrespectful to all the other female characters if I say that they aren't as good as the one that I pick. And it would also be disrespectful to all the females in Japan. So gomenasai, but I can't answer your question. Hazuki-san asks, "Konnichiwa. I was curious if you've ever had to deal with Yakuza before. If so, did you duel with any of them? I am certain your skills in karate would surely show them the error of their ways." No, I've actually never encountered any Yakuza, even when I was in Japan. I have encountered criminals before, but nothing serious. You are right that I have a lot of skills in karate and in all different kinds of martial arts in general. But what makes the Yakuza so dangerous is that they are also likely trained in martial arts as well, so they could be a bit tricky to deal with if I ever had a random encounter with them in Japan. Yuki-san asks, "My question, have you ever considered collaborating with larger YouTubers? For example, I think Moist Critical would get a kick out of your channel and would bring a ton of new swordlings in." Oh, I have collaborated with bigger YouTubers in the past, but I of course would have no issues doing more collaborations. I do know of this Moist Critical guy. I believe his name is Charlie, right? He seems to be enjoying anime and JRPGs a lot, and he seems to have respect for Japan to an extent at least. However, I do notice that he sometimes shows a little bit too much westernness in his behavior, and sometimes he unnecessarily feels the need to complain about Japan or anime, and say some really baka things. I feel that with a little adjustment, he could be enjoying anime and Japanese culture way more if it wasn't for those intrusive Western thoughts of his. Sari-san, I can help you with that. If my proposal sounds interesting, you can contact me and we can figure this out. Omi-san asks, this is absolutely super sugoi. Please, Hanshi, I must know, what is your favorite Final Fantasy archetype? To explain to those uninformed, low-ranked swordling in the audience who are new subscribers, who does not know Japanese that well, Hanshi is the title given to a person that has proven that their skills are exceptional and at a high level. The Han in Hanshi means model or example. In other words, someone you should look up to and strive to be as good as. So a Hanshi could be explained as a teacher of teachers. An easy way to remember what a Hanshi is to imagine it as someone above, a sensei. And now you know the meaning of Hanshi. My favorite Final Fantasy archetype is the Red Mage. Kado-san asks, if you restarted your YouTube career, what would you do differently and what would you do the exact same? Congratulations, Seth-sama. Wish you the best. Interesting question, but to tell you the truth, I wouldn't do that much differently from what I've done. The only video I would have done differently would have been the original Chrono Trigger review. I've talked about it before, but the Chrono Trigger review was more made as an entertainment piece rather than an objective review, and so it falls short when compared to videos that were released after it. The Chrono Trigger video is still super sugoi and very much worth watching if you ask me. But if I started over, I would make it more interesting and objective. Which I already did. Earlier this year, I did a remake of the Chrono Trigger review in the way it was always intended to be. Go and watch it, it's really good. But other than that, all my videos from the Dark Souls review and forward, I still agree with to this day, and I wouldn't change anything about them. Speku-san asks, Dear Seth-sama, have you ever had a moment in your life where you had to embrace your inner darkness to overcome a difficult challenge? If so, do you regret it? Arigato. I actually do have a story about that, Speku-san, but I am saving that one for later, so look forward to it. Jose-san asks, Hey, isn't this the Emperor of Japan? You are both right and incorrect. I am not the actual Emperor of Japan. That title goes to Naruhito-sama, the 126th monarch according to Japan's traditional order of succession. I don't want to claim that I am actually the Emperor of Japan, because that would be incredibly disrespectful to Naruhito-sama. But I did play the Emperor of Japan in Speedru Dono's smash hit anime, Punch Punch Forever, which you should go watch right now if you haven't. Faru-san asks, Konnichiwa, Seth-sama. Omedetou on 9,000 subscribers. I am sending you this DM in regards to your Q&A. I hope this message finds you well. My question is, how can we as a community stop Nintendo's next console from selling as well as the Nintendo Switch? Now, we all know that Nintendo have been abusing their ties with the Yakuza to sell plenty of their consoles all over the world, but there has to be a way to put a stop to them and their evil ways. Seth-sama, onegai, tasukete kudasai. Easy solution. Don't buy their games. People are slowly starting to realize how abusive and awful Nintendo is as a company, and how their games aren't actually that good. It will take some time, but hopefully in a couple of years, Nintendo will be gone. And then there will be an empty spot for Sega to fill and come back to the console industry. I have a lot more to say about Nintendo, but I will save that for later because that's going to take quite some time. Burisan asks, Omedetou Seth-sama. My question is, if you had to choose one mangaka to recreate Sephiroth Sword 57 Gaiden in manga form, who would it be? Oh wow, I love this question. Now your first guess would probably be Masashi Kishimoto, right? Which would be super sugoi. But I wouldn't want to disturb Kishimoto-san because he is very busy working on Boruto. So my pick would be Bronson, the artist of Hokuto no Ken. His classic art style would fit perfectly with my writing style. And since he is mainly an artist, that means that I would be the writer. I think that we would make quite the team. Bronson-san, if you see this, let's make it happen. Daniela-san asks, I can't believe this. It is truly a shame to see YouTube sabotaging this video's performance. I'd not be surprised if it's the vile Nintendo is involved in some backdoor dealings to damage your channel, Seth-sama. I mean really, what a coincidence that the video immediately following your Tears of the Kingdom video is such poor performance. Smells fishy. I agree. Anyways, I do have a question for your Q&A. What order do you rank the Devil May Cry games? And do you have any comments for that terrible thing that was an attempted reboot, DMC, done by a baka Western studio? I get incensed just thinking about it. What are you talking about? Reboot? Western studio? There are only 5 Devil May Cry games. I've never heard of such thing as a Western DMC. From order of least sugoi to most sugoi. Let's go. At number 5, we have Devil May Cry 2. Not a bad game at all, but it does pale in comparison to the rest of the games in the series. You should play it though, it's really fun. At number 4, we appropriately have Devil May Cry 4. This was a hard decision. Devil May Cry 4 is so sugoi, and you get to play as both Nero and Dante. And that is excluding the special edition, where you get to play as even more characters. It was very close of getting to the 3rd spot on the list. But coming in hot at number 3 is Devil May Cry. Yes, the original that started it all, with combat so slick that Nintendo fanboys would have to find even more excuses to play their inferior Zelda games. And with incredible character designs. Fun fact, Devil May Cry was one of the games that inspired my fashion. I had a hard time choosing between this and Devil May Cry 4 for this spot. But this game is so important to the franchise that it just objectively fits here better. But it was really close. And the one that is awarded a silver medal is Devil May Cry 5. With its triumphant comeback after 11 years, Devil May Cry 5 doesn't mess around. Devil May Cry is back, and it's better than you could have ever imagined. Great gameplay, great story, great graphics, and well-written characters. And at number 1, we of course have the incredible Devil May Cry 3. What do I even need to say? It's one of the best action games ever created. And that is it really. Well, those are all the questions for this video. If I didn't answer your question in this video, it could mean that I've already answered your question in a previous Q&A, or that the question could be something that I have planned for a video in the future and don't want to spoil it. Or it was because it was a very rude and crude question that I'm of course not going to answer. Anyway, Arigato so much for watching this Q&A. And remember, later tonight at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, I'm going to be doing my anniversary stream. It's going to be super sugoi, so make sure that you stop by and hang out with us. We will be having a lot of fun. Anyway, I hope you shorties have a good night, evening, morning, or day, and I will see you later. Moshi mosh!